This video is sponsored by PotownStore.com, the best place to get yourself some TCGO code cards. Want to start playing competitively? It's very easy to do so with instant email delivery with the codes, and they have a huge variety of codes up on their website, reaching from league battle decks, specific promo codes, or even the latest booster packs in town. So definitely check out PotownStore.com, and you can use the coupon code ZapDoseTCG for 5% off your next order. How wonderful is that? Also check out cardmarket.com. This is a European platform that I personally use every day. If you're a European player, you're obligated to check out the link in the description below. We're going to be able to check out Card Market, and you can buy cards and sell cards to people all across Europe, so definitely do so. You're going to be helping me out a ton. So definitely enjoy this video, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace! What's up YouTube, it's ZapDoseTCG here, and welcome back to another TCG deck profile video on my channel. Today we are still exploring new decks from Battle Styles, and this is a very peculiar one. It's a new mill deck. Also be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. We're posting daily Pokemon TCG videos on this channel, and today we have Durant mill on the menu. Hopefully you guys remember the Durant from Noble Victories, which actually took over the world and actually was a very viable deck. This time around, there's a new Durant. It's energy attack cost. It's not a metal energy, but instead it's a double colorless energy. Luckily, we do have twin energy in the format, which can help Durant mill cards. First of all, we're going to be explaining Durant. Then we're going to be going over some other cards in this list and why this list might actually be better than we think. Okay, first of all, we have Durant here. It is a 90 HP Pokemon. That on the surface is very good because Level Ball also gets reprinted in Battle Styles. And talking about Battle Styles, if you have a new idea for another deck that you want to see featured up next, be sure to put it in the comment section. Maybe we'll take a look at that in the near future. So we have this Durant being able to use Devour, its second attack, and that's actually discarding top card of the opponent's deck for every Durant you have in play. So you just need to get all of these in play, and 4 cards get milled from the opponent's deck every single turn. So you have Level Ball, you have Quick Ball, so getting these little fellas is easy as pie. So that is our main objective. We also have in this list some other ways we can mill cards, and we also have a lot of disruption. So first of all, let's just talk about the Pokemon in this specific list. And I also should let you know that there was a successful Durant list already, but that was revolving around Chuckle and of course flipping coins until you get tails. For every successful heads, you actually discard a top card of the opponent's deck. So that was the secondary mill Pokemon in that specific list, and I actually won a small tournament over in Japan. So Durant is actually doing some stuff. I know it's gonna be rogue at best, but ADP is still around, so against ADP you're gonna have a horrible time. Although we do have Crushing Hammers and we do have access to like Team Yell Grunts and all that, so maybe we can slow them down and then mill them, but it's gonna be a very horrible matchup indeed because they take multiple prize cards. We do not run Latios GX in this list, so ADP is bad, but other decks that need to take like 6 prize cards, that should be okay, because that means at most we can actually use Devour like 5 times. We can, of course, get 20 energies back with Munchlex. So we're going to be talking about the Pokemon first. Of course, we talked about Durant already. Then there's also a tree line of Alolan Muk from Team Up in here. This has a wonderful ability, which lets us look at the top 6 cards of the opponent's deck and discard all item cards we find there. So that's going to be helping the mill process in general. So typically we play this deck with like Toxtricity, but that was very, very clunky because not only is it a stage 1, it also comes back with the horrible side effect that if you flip tails, you discard the top 5 cards of your deck, which is a loss condition for yourself. So this time around the Durant is like very easy. Get a couple of Durants out, Quick Ball Durant, Level Ball Durant, get them in play, use the twin energy, and boom, just start milling the opponents nice and easily. Problem is we only have 4 twin energies to work with. I actually included a Pierce in here because Pierce searches a Darkness Pokemon and a special energy. That is going to be very nice for us to just search our twin energy and an Alolan Muk or maybe a Grimer if need be. And we can get them back with Cynthia Catlin, but more on the supporter counts later. So also let me know in the comment section how you feel about Durant getting a reprint. Do you think of course the older one is better in the format it was released in, because at that specific point, there was, of course, no like quick ADP decks that just win in 3 turns, but nevertheless, we're gonna have some fun with this eventually when the cards get revealed on TCGO, and then we're gonna have a lot of fun with this. So We have the Alolan Muk being able to discard the item cards, and we can reuse that thanks to the power of Scoop Up Net, a very busted item card for sure. Use Scoop Up Net, get Alolan Muk back in hand, and you can evolve it again to just do the exact same process. So hopefully you find a lot of item cards there, and then the addition to the Durant will actually mill 4 cards as well. There is another card that helps with milling, and that's going to be Cursed Shovel. If this is attached to one of your Pokemon and the Pokemon is knocked out, we mill 2 cards from the opponent's deck. So in theory, a Durant with a Twin Energy and 3 Durant on the bench, and they all have like a Cursed Shovel. They only have 3 copies in here, but still, imagine the opponent knocks out the one with the Twin Energy, which they probably will do. You actually mill 2 cards, and you also milled 4 during the Devour process, so that's milling 6 cards. Add in a little Muk here and there, and you should be doing okay. What else is in this list is Munchlex. Munchlax is in here against opposing like mill decks. You can use the Munchlax and all that, but this is an aggressive mill deck. This Munchlax will help you to recover your Twin Energy. So if you're up against a deck that revolves around that new fan card, of course, the fan that blows away your special energies and puts them on the bottom of the deck, very annoying for sure, but Munchlax can actually get some stuff back from the discard pile. You can get a Devour, you can get Ordinary Rod back, you can get a Durant back, you can get an Energy back. You need to land a Heads, but on specific turns where you have a Lily's Pokédoll in the active position and you don't have the Twin Energy, you can use Munchlax to put a card that you want on top of the deck. Very interesting for sure, it is in here. It also has free retreat, which is awesome. And I also should let you guys know that the Alolan Grimer has an attack Collect, which allows you to draw 2 cards for 0 energy, so that is very busted indeed. So all of these cards will let you draw cards, like Munchlax extra consistency to get to actually recover cards. We have the Alolan Grimer being able to draw 2 cards, and then there's 2 copies of Zacian in here. Why 2 copies? Because we don't have access to our prize cards. In the past, we had stuff like the Rotom, which actually I think it was from Undaunted, if I'm not mistaken, that allows you to peek at your prize cards. We also had back in the day Gladion. Those cards are not around in the standard format, so I think 2 copies of Zacian is sufficient. So you just make sure though that it is not prized. You only need one to just to get, of course, the Intrepid Sword going around. We're not running metal type energies. We're just revolving around Zacian V to just draw cards every single turn while we hide behind the Lily's Pokédoll. So that's going to be the main focus. We also have Mew from Unbroken Bonds protecting our bench because imagine a Tag Ball Jags getting rid of 2 Durants. That's a little bit too much to handle. So the Mew is in here, and also we can of course rely on Mew with Psy Power to just poke at opponent's Pokemon. We're not gonna be taking prize cards, but sometimes you can actually win against a Mad Party deck, for instance, with of course the Mew. I've seen it happen, like you scoop up Mew in the active because you can find it with Level Ball, capture energy on the Mew, and boom, you knock out the Sinistea and you win the game. So that's like very strange scenarios, but they do happen. Then we also have Giratina from a Unified Minds with a Dimension Breach ability. If you slap it down, you can discard a special energy attached to the opponent's active. I do love this over the new fan card that puts a special energy from any of the opponent's Pokemon on the bottom of their deck, because we want to mill. If we put something back in the deck that's bad, we want to mill instead. So that's why I love the Giratina here. And then we're going to be talking about like another Pokemon. It's technically an item card. It's Lily's Pokédoll, 4 copies of that, and this is going to be awesome. The opponent most likely has 3 Boss's Orders. Unless they're ADP, then we're playing more. But if they only have 3 Boss's Orders, we can actually mill a lot of cards while hiding behind the Lily's Pokédoll, revolving around Alolan Muk. So you can just promote Lily's Pokédoll, slow the opponent down, and it's going to be awesome. So for a search engine, 4 Quick Ball, 4 Level Ball, very awesome. You can find your Grimers, can find your Durants, can find your Mew. It's gonna be good. And the Quick Ball is there for, of course, Zacian. But we also have slapped in 3 Capture Energies, and those will allow you to search Zacian on the first turn while attaching to a Durant. If you have a second Capture Energy onto that Durant, it can attack without revolving around the Twin Energy. We have, of course, Crushing Hammer in this list. Crushing Hammers, in addition to 2 Team Yell Grunt, and of course the Giratina Scoop Up Net combo, it's going to be huge. We want to set the opponent back, and if the opponent is not able to attack, we can just go for like Devour with Durant multiple times in a row, and we can of course get back the Team Yell Grunts with, of course, none other than Cynthia Catlin. You might think about adding in a Palpad. I think the successful Japanese list revolved around like 1 copy of Palpad. But I'm a bigger fan of like playing 3 copies of Cynthia Catlin, just to you draw cards while you can recover a supporter card. That's like the main focus. What else? We have 2 copies of a Reset Stamp. Putting the opponent to a low hand size in combination with like a Boss's Orders on something like has a huge retreat cost is very key to just trap the opponent. Maybe you already milled all of their switch cards with the Alolan Muk ability as well as the Durant. So trapping opponents is possible. You might think even like I'm putting in something like Galarian, not Galarian, the Galar Mine is also a nice stadium card, but instead we opted to go for Chaotic Swell, so stuff like Labrys, Wondrous Labyrinth could not come into play, otherwise we instantly lose because we need the Twin Energy to just stay on that Durant, and if the Stadium card comes in play, the Wondrous Labyrinth, we cannot attack, which is very scary. So that's why I opted to go for Chaotic Swell. Other Stadium cards you might think about as like Power Plant is very good of shutting down like the Danajax, but on the surface, like if they use the Danajax, they're milling, so that's why we opted to go for Chaotic Swell instead. Now for supporter lineup, we have of course one copy of Birdkeeper just to get Zacian out of the active position. The list is not running Air Balloon or switches, although I think running in like Air Balloon is nice. That means you can also like try and slide in Celebi, so you could actually cut down on capture energies and add in 2 Air Balloons and a Celebi. That is just your personal preference, but the reason why I'm not running Celebi is just because the bench space is pretty tight. We have 4 Durant that actually eats up like 4 of the 6 slots already. A Zacian eats up a slot, and then 1 copy for the Alolan Muk shenanigans eats up a slot. So that's why we don't have room for the Celebi, although it's nice to find those special energies. You can look at the top 6 cards, and it's actually the one from Shining, the Shining set, of course, that everyone wants, the Shining Fate set. But yeah, I don't know. I couldn't find the bench space for it. We only have like bench space for 5 Pokemon, and you do want to get out multiple Alolan Muk, so we didn't include it in here, but it could be a nice catch for sure. Next up is Bruno, and Bruno is a new supporter coming in Battle Styles that lets you shuffle your hand into your deck and draw 4 cards. Very, very nice. Why are we not running Marnie? Well, we don't want the opponent shuffling their huge hand back in their deck. We want to discard all their Marnies with Durant, so every single card they have actually drawn out of the deck actually counts as milling the opponent. So that's why we're not running Marnie. We're not running like Research because we don't want to discard all of our resources, and instead we just want to like play the slow game in here. Bruno is nice. We can have a hand reshuffling, and if one of our Pokemon got knocked out during the opponent's last turn, either it's a Lily's Pokédoll or a Durant, we can actually shuffle our hand to our deck and draw 7 cards instead. So it's even better like than Cynthia from Ultra Prism, but only if the opponent knocks something out. And then we have access to 1 Boss Zordus. As mentioned, Boss Zordus and Reset Stamp is very huge, so you can trap opponents. Although, yeah, this list is not running Power Plant, so they can like draw out of it immediately with the Danajax, but then they're actually drawing more cards from the deck, so I don't mind that at all. Next is 3 copies of the Cynthia Callan. As mentioned, very good to get back supporters from the discard pile while drawing cards. You just want to keep drawing cards so you can find your twin energies. That's what the deck is all about. There's 1 copy of Pierce in here, just because that can actually be our way out to find twin energy. Let's say you use Cynthia Catlin, you can get back the Pierce, and the following turn you know, oh, I have the Pierce, you can play down the Pierce, you can find yourself a Alolan Muk or a Alolan Grimer, as well as an energy of choice. So that's very neat indeed. So 1 copy of Pierce. You might think about adding in a Crobat V just for those cases where you get donked, but with of course the high amount of capture energy and quick ball, you most likely will find yourself a Zacian, and you don't need to have like set up instantly. If you have Zacian, it's already fine on itself, because at one point you can have like, oh, lovable Durant, and you can get your entire army set up in just 1 turn while attaching. Like in the past we had like Toxtricity or maybe the Palossand, which also mills cards, but that's a stage 1, and sometimes, oh, I whiffed on my like basic Pokemon, now I cannot mill the following turn. That's not the case in here. As well, if something got knocked out, we have Curse Shuffle, which is nice. And for the energies, 3 capture energies and 4 twin energies. So that is the list for you today. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this brief run through of the amazing Durant deck. As mentioned, it is not tier 1 broken archetype, but with a little bit of work with some couple of you guys in there, I know I have a lot of genius work going around. This actually might work. As mentioned, Crushing Hammer, Team Yell Grunt, and of course the Giratina is huge. We know that the Urshifu decks do revolve around a lot of special energies, which is nice. And yeah, if we mill them instantly and they don't have their special energies, they will be very much slowed down. We have Mew to protect ourselves from the Rapid Strike, Urshifu, as well as Tag Ball GX. And against decks like Scorch or something like Eternatus, they will need to knock out like, at least 5 Pokemon, because they're probably going to go after Zacian at one point. So we have a little bit of time on our hands because we slow the opponent down with hammers and stuff, and then we can try using Devour, Alolan Muk, Devour, and just hope we mill the opponent. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Try it out for yourself. If you have any suggestions to improve the list, let me know. If you're a bigger fan of like Chuckle and the way you can just mill the opponent with like a little bit of luck, like flipping coins until you get tails, can sometimes like mill 8 cards, but averagely it will only mill 1 card. Like, so I don't know how to feel about that chuckle, but that's what the Japanese players used. This time around, I opted to go for Alolan Muk. I want to hear your opinions down below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to smash that like button as it helps out the channel more than you would possibly think. And also go check out our sponsors. We of course have BowtownStore.com, the best place to get yourself some TCG code cards. So TCG code cards are huge. They're a big deal. If you're still playing Player Cup 3 or whatever, you need them. You can get yourself Zacian codes, Eternatus codes, Luke Metal codes, Mew codes, ADP League Battle Deck codes, Pikarom League Battle Deck codes, Trainer Toolkits. I have a huge arsenal of TCG code cards on that specific website. Use the coupon code ZAPLOSTCG for 5% of your next order. Also check out cardmarket.com. This is a European platform that I personally use every day. You can buy and sell cards to people all across Europe. Very nice and easily to do so on that platform. So if you're a European player, be sure to check it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. So thanks again for watching. See you guys then. Peace.